What's going on, guys? Chase back with another video today. It is May 19th, 2021, and we are out. That's right, we are out of everything in the bin store. We sold out back last week of everything that was in here. So if you guys know, we opened up a bin store. We're doing it occasionally where we open up this part of the warehouse and we have bin liquidation sales and we sell through the merchandise and stuff. As you can see, we sold through everything. We're taking a break right now. Now, that's not most bin store models. Most bin stores, they open, they replenish every week, all year long, and you sell down and move through the merchandise and inventory. We are buying Amazon smalls or Amazon high piece count loads mostly for the bin store. We're going to actually start mixing it up though a little bit. We want to add value, but we want to have some different type of stuff in here for our next bin liquidation sale. I had a comment, I think it was yesterday or so, asking about selling through the volume. Is bin stores profitable? And here's the answer to that. Okay, yes, bin stores are and can be pretty profitable. I know a lot of people out there that are doing it, that are making good money with it. It depends on your area, on your location. Those are big factors. I'm not a super business guy, so I can't tell you, hey, yes, in this area it's going to work, or yes, in this area it's going to work, or in that area it's not going to work. It depends on area, population, and whether you can move the amount of inventory that you really need to move in the time. And it also really depends how you structure it. You can structure these bin store liquidation sales, kind of different models, a little bit differently, and tweak it a little bit to be able to possibly increase profit or decrease profit depending on how you structure it. But we sold through an entire Amazon truckload of smalls. We emptied out all the bins. I want to show you guys. So these are the bins you see in a lot of bin stores, these metal bins. Some of them also have these. We have a mixture of both. So we were really kind of struggling to come up with what we were going to use for bins in the first of the thought process of getting this open. We really didn't know. Wood, as you guys know, across the country has really gone up in value due to just the last year or so. So we ended up buying these tables. They weren't bins when we bought them. We bought them from an individual, really cheap at a really great deal. I think we paid about $30 a table. Again, that was for the lumber and the tables already put together. They did not have these sides though. So it was a piece of plywood with 2x4 framing, legs, and all that. But pretty reasonable price, because the lumber now would cost you a lot more than that to make the tables themselves, not even counting the wood for the sides for the bin. But they were already put together too, so that saved us a lot. So we got these for about $30 a piece from a local individual. I always recommend that you look locally and try to source things for your store. Look on Facebook Marketplace, look on Craigslist, look for those deals where businesses are going out, or they're closing out, they're liquidating store shelving or store bins like these behind me, because that's when you're going to be able to buy them on really pennies on the dollar from what they would normally cost you if you went to a warehouse supply company or a store supply company and you bought store fixtures or warehouse fixtures, bins, anything like that. It's going to cost you a lot more, because you can start businesses and stores for a reasonable startup cost. You just have to look out there for the deals. But we ended up buying these bins here. We bought 18 of those, buying all 18 of them. We got them about $75 or $80 or so a piece. I can't remember exactly, but they were like $75 to maybe $85 a piece when we bought them all. They did want, I think, a little bit more than that originally for them, but if we took all 18 that they needed to get rid of, they bundled it and gave us a better deal. So that also matters sometimes. If you're willing to buy out all that they have, sometimes they'll bundle it and you'll get a little better deal. So that's what we paid for these metal bins here. They're really nice, really heavy duty. They're gonna last forever. You can use them for bin stores. You can use them in retail stores. You can put shovel handles or shovels, rakes, rugs in those big tall ones like that one that's way up there. You can see it's a little bit taller. Works great for rugs and stuff like that. If you didn't have a bin store, you know, these are still great for other things. They're great for sorting through pallets, being able to dump some stuff in there and say, this is going to be at this price, this bin's going to be, you know, for the store, this is going to be for eBay, this is going to be for the bin store, so on and so on. But we ended up getting everything at a pretty reasonable deal to start out with the bins. So your startup cost, you know, you just have to look at that. You have to hunt for those deals. But yes, you can make it work, you guys. You can make it work. Again, it depends on your local area as to whether it's going to be really profitable for you or not, or even how profitable it could be. It really depends on your area and how much volume, how much stuff you can sell through, and how fast you can sell through it. It really, really matters in this type of model, you guys. So if you're in a pretty populated area, I would say, you know, you want to try to sell through a truck in a week or two, I would say, you know, to really make this model work, to sell through that volume, to be able to have that next truck ready to go and paid for, you know, and try to make that money come in and be profitable per truckload, you know, or at the end of the month anyway. So it can happen. I know people are out there that are doing it, you know, that makes it work. So yes, but you need to do research. You need to really get the feel of your market and what you think you can move in volume. The other side of it, if you live in a smaller area, kind of like we do, I would break it up some, you know. This is just me. There is a lot of work to go into this. Yes, you're able to save as far as employees or yourself, even the time of pricing it, putting it on the shelf, making it look neat and organized. This bin store model, it cuts down on a lot of time and some labor. Yes, that is true. You're not having to maybe put a sticker on everything, put it on the shelf, make it look neat and organized, categorize things. But the other thing is that there is still work going into it. You still have to sort through some of the stuff depending on your model. You know, some bin stores start at $5 and go to $1 or so. Some go a little bit cheaper than that. Some start at $10 and then they go down from there. So you have to decide, you know, what's going out on the $10 day or $8 or $5 day. And then, you know, are you going to leave it and let it sell through all week? Or if it doesn't sell, that high dollar items, what I'm trying to say, you guys, are you going to pull that and then put it back out the following week? Everybody's model is different. Here's the end of the game, okay? This is what you got to know. You have to have deals for the customers every day. Now, I'm not saying if you have a $10 day and it's a $100 and something item, if it doesn't sell on $10 day and you want to pull it for the next week, that's completely up to you. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I know people that are doing that because it's still a crazy deal at $10. Come on, you guys. And if it drops from there and goes to say $8 or $7 or whatever, and you're still having, you know, $100 items out there or $50 even, $50 items out there, mixed in with some of the bin stuff. I mean, that's crazy deals. You're not going to find that anywhere but in a liquidation type store or a bin store, you know. Maybe a thrift store if it's a used item, you know, but you're not going to go into any retail space and get a deal like that, you know. So, but the point I'm trying to make is that you have to add value. You have to have those crazy deals because you're going to attract people that's there for the hunt. They're there for those winning items, those winning ticket items. You're also going to attract a lot of other resellers with a type of business like this, and there has to be meat on the bone to where they can pay you and then sell it and flip it themselves for a decent profit. And it's still, even after them selling it and flipping it, still be a good enough deal that the end customer is saving money on that item. So, you know, there's a lot of different ways to do it, you guys. You know, what we're doing, because it is a lot of work, still sorting through and stuff, and you know, we here are in a smaller area, smaller community. So, you know, we can move through some stuff, but we can't move through it as a bigger populated area could. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this space for storage and going through and sorting through pallets, you know, And then every little bit, every probably 2 to 3 month range, we're going to have a big bin liquidation sale again. So that's kind of our model for it. You know, we've had our opening date, we went through it, we sold through, and then now we're going to kind of structure it to where we go through stuff. We have some stuff, you know, in the bins and stuff. We might even do some stuff on tables so it doesn't get strewn everywhere. Have a little bit different sorting model and what goes out on what days. And then, you know, we're going to leave stuff in there for every day to be really good value for people. But again, you know, our model is going to be, if it's, you know, $50, $100 item and it doesn't sell on $10 day, we might pull a little bit of that and then put it back out on the next sale. So, you know, we're still going to have crazy deals. The value is going to be there for the customers and for other resellers. But at the end of the day, you know, you have to make it structure for you to work. You know, how much time are you willing to put into it? Because, you know, we have a lot of other stuff going on here. We have our main warehouse where we're open 3 days a week. The public's coming in, you know, every 3 days. We sell a lot ourselves. We rent out to other dealers in the back of the warehouse as a merchant market, so to speak. Good way. That's really kind of what we would be called. But then again, you know, I mean, we have the eBay store going on. I occasionally, you know, I'm working on flipping liquidation truckloads and some stuff like that. So there's a lot of stuff that's going on a lot of the time, you guys. And this is a great thing. It can really work. But there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. You really have to do your research and make sure it's going to be profitable for you versus, you know, how much time can you put into it? How much time do you want to put into it? Is it going to be profitable in your area and things? The answer is it can be profitable, but you have to figure out how to structure it and how to make it work for you and your area. So I hope that gives you a little bit of thought, you know, kind of how we're doing, what we're doing. You know, again, you got to think through your area. Somebody in one of the videos commented and asked, you know, is it profitable? They were thinking about opening a bin store. All I want to say is that you do your research. Make sure you don't get yourself in a hurting spot. Make sure your area will, you know, be able to at least sustain it, you know, and there's research that has to be done. Again, there's more time that goes into this than what people think. This is an easier model for us as far as not having to price individual items, put them on the shelf. You can attract a lot of people and sell through a lot of volume because you're offering crazy deals. So your money, you know, it kind of adds up over time with selling through that much volume. But again, there is work that goes into it. Don't think there's not, you know. There is still a good bit of work that goes into these types of stores and these sales. So our model is that, you know, we want to keep doing it to offer it to our local community and to our customers, and we can make money with it. We just have to structure it to where it fits us. You know, that's what has to be done. Again, we didn't want to put that much work into it all the time because it is a lot of work. Week after week after week, doing that. When you get the truckloads in, that's when there's a lot of work, again, sorting through stuff and things like that. So, you know, that's with any truckload that we get in, but again, you know, having to be pushed to make sure we have stuff out for each week and everything, on top of everything else that we're doing going on, and trying to run everything. It gets hectic, it gets busy, and also, you know, we have to be able to figure what's most profitable for us with our time in our area. So, but yes, it can be profitable, but do your research. Don't jump into it. The other thing that I want to say is these loads over the last few years, before I even really got into buying truckloads of liquidations, before I even thought of doing the bin store, these loads used to be a lot cheaper. So yes, there's money still being made in this type of merchandise and these types of truckloads, but the Amazon high piece count or smalls truckloads is what most people are buying for these types of liquidation sales and bin store sales. They've gone up in cost. They've gone up in you know, what you have to pay for those. So there's still money to be made, but it's not as much as it used to be. That's the honest truth. They've continued. There's such a demand because everybody got to seeing that you can make money with this. It's kind of an easier way to do it, and that's true, but there's still work to it, you guys. a decent bit. So everybody got into opening these stores, and now there's still, there's still stuff out there. There's still truckloads available, but you really have to know the right person. You have to know the right source. You have to know the right liquidator that's going to be able to continue to supply you, because some of them, in all honesty, they're going to tell you, we've got all the buyers that we can take, because if I took you on as another buyer for these types of bin store truckloads, it's going to knock somebody else out. They have all the business that they need. A lot of them, that's the truth. That's the answer you're going to get. But there are some out there, that can take you on. There is some available, but it's hard to find. It's hard to find right now. So that's the big thing to it as well. Even though I can get them, and I can get them fairly regularly, they're still hard to source sometimes. So you need to make sure, number one, you think it'll work in your area. You think through the time that you're going to have to put into it. And another thing is, you need to know a source and a supplier that can continue to give you these truckloads when you need them, whether it be one a week, whether it be 2 a month, one every other week. Whether you live in a really, really small area, maybe you go through 1 a month. Whatever you think you're going to sell through and you're going to need, which you might not know until you get going and open, you need to know that you've got a good supplier that's going to be able to supply you regularly, or you're going to find yourself being open 1 week, closed the next, which is fine if you do kind of the model that we're going to do and just open up every 2 to 3 months and do a big sale all at once. So we're going to get some really good stuff in here. We're going to go through it. We're going to advertise, on our Facebook page and locally, and really try to get the word out with our customer base to attract a large group of people, a large crowd, all at once. So we're going to attract the crowd. We're going to attract the money to come be spent, all within, every 2 to 3 months, for about 2 weeks at a time. We're going to try to do a 2-week sale, every 2 to 3 months. That's kind of the way that we want to go with it, to where we can still make a good bit of money, a good bit of profit, enjoy it, because every day it gets a burnout a little bit, and we want to do, we're working other stuff too, you guys. This is not the only thing that we do. This is just one little side of it, of our business, of the liquidation model that we do. So, we have a retail side of it, we have an online side of it, we have this side of it, and then we also work with other dealers in the local area, and we rent out, parts of our warehouse to them, as well. So, we have lots of different avenues of income coming in through multiple different ways. So, again, all that you do takes time. So, I just want to make sure you guys, if you're out there, you're thinking about opening a bin store, you know what goes into it. I got that comment the other day, and instead of responding, I thought I would just make a video to address the issue, to address that thought process of, can I open a bin store? Is it profitable? It depends how you structure it. I mean, honestly, I can't give you a yes and no. It all depends on your area. It depends on whether you can get the truckloads. Do you even have a supplier yet lined up? And in all honesty, it's good to have a backup supplier. What happens when, that one does run out or something unsuspected happens, And see, I know several people in this game, in this business, to where I could get a truck. It might be different types of loads. It might cost me a little bit more. But if I wanted to be open every week, I could. But with us, it's a lot of work and time on top of everything else that we're doing. So we just didn't want to go that route. Yes, you can hire more people, but it's just not worth it that much to us in our area to be hiring a bunch more people to do it as well, So I'm not saying you can't afford to hire some people to do this. Again, all depends on your area and your model, how you're sourcing, how much you're paying for the truckloads, how much money's there to be made, how fast are you moving through that inventory. But anyway, this is just kind of my thoughts and opinion. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not some, super big business person that can start any business and make it work. You just have to play with it. It's trial and error. But, there is risk in any business, you guys. So just know that moving forward. But do your research, make sure you're willing to put in the time, make sure you have the time to put in, you know, make sure you have the source, the supplier, those truckloads, make sure that, you know, you're not just gonna buy one, you know, are they gonna have another truckload when you need it? So all things to consider and look out for. But yeah, that's it, you guys. We sold through our first bin store sale, and it is May 19th, 2021. So we'll do another sale in 2 or 3 months. June is too quick to do one. We don't want to do one in June. We have a little bit coming up in June. I thought about doing the end of July, but July, there's going to be kind of a decent bit going on with us. We, me and my wife and son are going to, or at least planning, hopefully we will get to, if nothing happens crazy in the world, we're going to be taking a vacation a little while, the 1st of July, around the 4th, and past the 4th for a while. But anyway, we'll be leaving like the 3rd, and we'll be coming back a week or so later. I can't remember the exact date off the top of my head. But anyhow, so we'll be on a trip. We'll be leaving Tennessee, West Tennessee, heading down to Florida for a little while. And then my mother and father-in-law, they'll be leaving, and they're a big part of this operation here. So we do the bin liquidation sales together. So me and my wife helps some, and then my mother-in-law and father-in-law, we kind of all go in and do this together. So, you know, we make money together. We put in equal, you know, time as best we can anyway. So we do these sales together. This last sale we did together. So we was all a part of it, all a team. And then even on the other arm, you know, they do, we all kind of work together. My mother-in-law works for me, so she's a big part of the operation here. I use her and need her to help out do a lot of stuff. And then we have a couple other fill-in people that, you know, work occasionally as needed. So, but anyway, so when we're on trips, you know, and things like that, we have extra work to be done. You know, we have a couple other people that work for us as well. But, so anyway, you guys, I guess that being said, it'll probably be like August, I suspect, before we do our next bin liquidation sale. I'd like to do it a little bit sooner, but the summer's just going to be kind of busy with extra stuff going on top of the regular business stuff that we do. So probably be August before the next bin liquidation sale. And then I guess August, let's see, August, September, October. I'd probably like to do another one in November, and that be the big one before Christmas, because December gets pretty busy in general. So probably don't want to do it in December. I would say November would pick up, would be pretty reasonable to do. We're getting in the Christmas season, so we can get those early shoppers kind of coming out, buying some deals. We can sell some Christmas decoration that starts selling really good around that time. And we can do that kind of in through for a couple weeks in November. And then by the time December comes, you know, more family stuff's coming up, things like that, Christmas holidays. And then just the store over there gets pretty busy, seems like. You know, we have a big Christmas open house. That's actually in November though, but anywho, that's probably kind of the way the schedule, I think, would be best fitted as far as the times of the year goes. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what we all agree on and where we can schedule it in and make it work. So anyway, hope this gave you some thoughts on the bin store. This gives you an idea of our model, what will work best and fit us for our needs. And it gives you an idea of my thoughts on opening a bin store. So just all things to consider. Hope this helped somebody out there. The person that left the question, I can't think of who you are right now, sorry. But maybe this give you a little bit better thought process on what to at least be thinking about before you open a bin store or anything like that. and maybe to help some other people if you're thinking about doing something like this, to be able to think through some things and just give you a little bit of my thoughts on it. So, all right, guys, that's going to end this video. Hope you got something out of it. Until next time, this is Liquidation Salvation. If you liked it, please give us a thumbs up. And if you are into liquidation resale, we do all of it, so videos will be out on all this type of stuff, showing you pallets we buy, truckloads we buy, the bin store sales. I'm going to start filming a little bit more for the other store, showing you kind of how we do there, showing you some customers coming in and out, kind of what's selling. And then 2, we show you what's sold on eBay. We do a lot of what's sold on eBay videos. Those come out, you know, usually every now and then as I have time to film them. So anyway, you guys, that's it. Catch you in the next one.